Hello everyone, and welcome back to Network 27. I'm Vice Mayor and Alderman Walter Burnett of the 27th Ward. I'd like to thank you all for viewing Network 27. I'd like to thank all of the people who helped me to put the show together. We have some very talented folks, and we really appreciate all of their help. As you know, Network 27 is a show we've been doing for over 25 years to let folks know about things and opportunities that's going on in the ward and the city that they can utilize. Today we have some special guests. As always, we always have special guests. But this is an organization that has been in our community for a long time. They've been helping people get their lives back on track in the city of Chicago. It's a great organization called St. Leonard's House. And from what I understand, St. Leonard's House, and I'm on the advisory board, but St. Leonard's House is an organization that started with the Episcopal Church. And they've been very generous in doing things like this to help people in our community. They've had this place, they have shelters, they help people with AIDS and HIV that's recovering, not in particular this place, but other places that they do have. St. Leonard's House is located in our ward on Oakley and Washington. Right? Or is it Hoyne and Washington?
Hoyne and Warren, yeah.
Hoyne and Warren.
Yeah,
Hoyne and
right
Warren.
by just block and a half from the United Center.
Hoyne and Warren, okay.
Yeah.
And you may not have noticed it back in, when I first became alderman in 1995, it was the most beautiful building in the neighborhood before things started to get gentrified and rebuilt up. So they've been here for a long time. They've been maintaining their property in its extreme, glory of how it looks, and the neighborhood is well maintained. And as I said, no one has never known. If you didn't know they were here, you wouldn't know they were here. But they've built up since that time. So I'm going to allow for these folks to introduce themselves and tell you about themselves and tell us about St. Leonard's House. Why don't we start with you, sir?
Yeah, so Zack Schrantz, I've had the privilege of being the executive director here and really part of the St. Leonard's community. And I think one of the things that's really important for the work we do, which is a work of love, is to build community. And we appreciate very much, Vice Mayor, your strong support of our organization for decades now. And that matters a lot because we work with people who have been impacted by the incarceration system, and all too often they are locked away and forgotten and continue to be judged and shamed, and this is a place where people can not have that happen and be part of a community. And you have certainly been with us and come and in our presence regularly, and we appreciate that. We have a great team here today to share more about St. Leonard Ministries. And to my right, I'll introduce Ivory Snow.
Yep, so my name is Ivory Snow. I am the Chief Administrative Officer here. I've been here for about over 4.5 years, and I oversee the workforce and education programs here at St. Leonard's.
Hi, I'm Chantel Limas. I have been working for St. Leonard's for 9 years. I am Director of Supportive Service for Permanent Housing.
And I am David Harris. I've been working here for 25 years, and I'm also an alumni of the program.
Fantastic. So tell us, St. Leonard's House. St. Leonard's House has been here for how long?
Almost in 2024, we're going to be celebrating our 70th anniversary, and
Wow.
the original home, which was started by an Episcopal priest by the name of Father Jones, who was a chaplain at what's now Cook County Jail, just recognized the need for housing for people in their transition, and he and the church helped buy a home on the corner of Warren and Hoyne, and over the years we've expanded that single home to 7 buildings, providing a full continuum of housing and supportive service options. We have a full continuum of wellness services on site here on campus. We have a full medical clinic run by Rush Community Nursing. We have mental health services provided by Adler Community Health. We have substance abuse and recovery supports run by Haas. And then we have our own team that provides a range of other supports. I think one of the things that makes St. Leonard special, in addition to providing all of those supports on a college campus type feel in the middle of the city, is that 42% of our staff, so 25 of our staff, are alumni of our programs, and another 25% have been impacted by incarceration. So 2/3 of the people that work for us permanently are paying it forward to the next man or woman coming after them. And for us, it's a huge advantage in terms of just knowing what our residents and community members are going through and how to help support them in that journey.
Fantastic. So St. Leonard's House is for men, women, or families, or what?
Yes, yes, and yes. So we provide supports in our transitional housing. We have programs both for people who identify as male and people who identify as female. St. Leonard's House is the original men's program, and Grace House is our women's program. And then we have second stage housing for both men and women. And then here at the Michael Barlow Center, which is our education and workforce center, we provide services both to people who are in our housing programs, but anybody who's in the community. And Ivory, if you want to talk a little bit about the education and workforce programs, that'd be great.
And Ivory, I just wanted to say that you know, first you started out with this one building.
Yeah.
Then you built the school, right? Then you built the houses next door, right? Yeah, and right next door to the church, which is you all's church building.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So why don't you tell us about the school?
Absolutely. So we have both skills training and education program services here at Michael Barlow. We have an adult evening high school, which is virtual. It's a 13-week program, which Chantel is an alumni, proud alumni of. And it gives our students a pathway to higher education. So again, like Chantel, graduated the program, went on to receive her associates at Malcolm X College. We have a 14-week construction skills program where we teach carpentry, plumbing, and electrical. So the participants come in and they tear a house down and they build a house from the ground, and it's pretty cool to see. And it's cool to hear the stories of how folks come in and I didn't know how to hammer in a nail, but I leave here and they leave proud, they leave empowered because they've now built this house with running water and electrical, you know, that lights. We have a culinary skills program. It's 10 weeks. The students learn knife skills. The chef takes them all around the world, so they learn French cuisine, they learn African cuisine, they cook. We had Jamaican the other day, Caribbean food. So again, just that sense of empowerment that comes along with gaining that skill. We're also really big on life skills here, and also providing just that holistic support. And with that holistic support, we have a clinical case manager, because we quickly found out that a lot of the barriers that our participants that live on campus encounter or deal with on a day-to-day basis, our students here at Michael Barlow also experience, because we both, as Zack mentioned, serve our residents who live here on campus and also community, so anyone who's been impacted by the criminal justice system.
So tell me, so Ms. Ivory, so you have a high school.
We do. We have a.
So it's a high school. It's not a GED program.
It is not. No.
They get high school diploma.
They get a high school completion certificate.
Okay.
So it is recognized by the city colleges of Chicago and several community colleges. So we have students that have gone on to Eastern University. I believe NIU. So we we have so we have so many success stories that started here with our high school completion program. It's virtual. It's taught by credentialed professors or teachers. So you know, and then we have a relationship also with Malcolm X College, where they come in and they hold a financial aid workshop to help students navigate, kind of the next steps, because that's also a barrier. If there's someone in your household that's never gone to college, you don't know how to, navigate a financial aid. So that relationship as well has been very prosperous, I would say, and and beneficial to our students.
Yes.
We have our Road to Success job training program that runs 2 weeks. It's a prerequisite for all of our skills training programs. We treat job readiness training, resume building, motivational interviewing. The students leave RTS with a resume. So if you have someone who's interested in culinary, you go through RTS, you get that soft skills training. How do I manage conflict in the workplace? Stress, you learn about harassment and how your words may be viewed as harassment, and how to really, have positive relationships in the workplace, because that also matters, along with having that skill, that hard skill. So once they're done with RTS, they come into the culinary or the construction skills program. They learn the skill, and then they work with our employment specialists. And from there, our employment specialists assist with job placement.
Fantastic. So thank you very much for all of that, Ms. Ivory. You're full of information. So these are for returning residents.
Correct.
Right? So your people that live here are returning residents. So the school, is it only for them?
Correct.
So people from outside can't go to the school?
So it's for anyone who's been justice impacted, right?
Okay.
So that's the one requirement for all of our programs. Now that could be an arrest record, right? It doesn't have to be where someone has served a long prison stint, right? It can be someone who has a misdemeanor, but that is the one requirement.
So it's not just for the people who live here.
No.
It's for other people in the community.
Correct.
Okay, fantastic.
Correct. All of our programs here at Michael Barlow Center are for both residents on campus and open to the community.
Fantastic.
Yep.
And also, I know you do AA meetings here and
We
all
do.
of those things, and that's
We
open.
do.
I know that's open
That's
to the
open,
public,
correct,
right? Because I see
correct.
people sometimes say, "Oh, I'm getting ready to go down to a meeting down at down at St. Leonard's house," right?
Correct.
Okay,
Computer literacy, financial literacy. A component of our job readiness program is focused on financial literacy, because we have many folks who come through and take our construction and our culinary program that want to own their own business. So we have a piece of that entrepreneurship training and how to set up a business account, how to fill out a business contract, and just even having those conversations when you're with the client. How do you have that in a way where you can protect yourself as the business owner?
So, and I know of some women, because I do a ministry with my church, that were at Logan, who's at Grace House, who went on to start
their own business.
They got a business. They got a cater company, and they make food and everything.
Yeah.
So, which is fantastic. Who came from here?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So that rolls us right into Grace House, right? So that rolls us right into all of the different facilities that you have. So that's your.
Yes, my journey started at Grace House. I came to Grace House. I'm also alumni at Grace House. Grace House helped me to put some structure back on my life. I had found myself at my lowest for 20 years. Coming to Grace House and growing up in this neighborhood, I always have heard of Grace House in St. Leonard's. Came to Grace House, gave myself a chance, was able to get some structure and get my life, family, and everything back on track with the help with some wonderful directors that was here at the time.
So let's just back up for a moment. So Grace House is a facility for women.
Right.
Right? So St. Leonard's is a facility for men.
For the men,
Right.
yes.
So I know you service men and women, but you service them at two different locations.
Yes.
So Grace House is located
1801 Adams.
Adams Street. So right in the shadows of the United Center.
Right.
You never know you never have known it was there. It's in a pretty beautiful, it looked like a historical like building, and is well maintained. That property, all of your property is well maintained.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and you would never know that it was a place for returning residents because everybody treats it with respect and dignity, and come in and out. So tell us again. I just wanted to point that out.
Right. So Grace House, you know, a lot of women's coming home from IDOC with the problems with returning of their children and getting their life back on track. We have parenting classes, financial literacy classes, the same as here, and mental. The mental was so important with Adler, you know, I think coming through Grace House. And like Ivory said, I had the opportunity at 43 to get my high school diploma, which I thought I would never get. And then to graduate with an associate degree with honors from Malcolm X College.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. So, and with the faith and love, and by me being an alumni at Grace House, I had the chance to work at Grace House, starting out with a case manager, and then getting promoted. Now I'm director of supportive service where I work at Harvest Commons. Okay. Harvest Commons is one of our permanent housing. I have 17 residents that I take care of.
Harvest Commons?
Harvest Commons is located at 1519 West Warren.
Right down the street from my house.
Right down the street from your house.
And
all in the ward.
It's 6 floors in the building, but St. Leonard's has the 2nd floor. We have 17 apartments.
And those apartments are for women? Or
for men and women.
Men and women,
yes.
Okay.
And one thing that is I love about this program, after the residents stay there a year, I'm able to apply for them a CHA voucher.
So they get a voucher, then they can move anywhere.
Anywhere they want to go. They can go to London if they want to. Anywhere. Anywhere they want to go to that takes a CHA voucher, they can take it.
With a CHA voucher, you can go to London. I need one.
Wherever they want to go, but you know, because it's studio apartments, they're studio apartments. So when they get their CHA voucher and they move on, they're able to get a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom. They're able to bring the women are able to bring their kids to stay with them.
Yeah.
The men are able to, you know, have their visit with their kids, their grandkids. So
and that was a big deal because I know years ago we had to, and we did it with you guys. We had to advocate to allow for returning residents to be able to live in CHA property.
Yes.
Because at one time, HUD wouldn't allow
they wouldn't.
anyone with a record to live. So you, even if your family lived in CHA, you couldn't move back with them legally.
Yes.
You had to sneak and live with them,
Yes.
right? Because, you know, that's the most affordable place to live was with CHA.
Yes.
So now we advocating with you guys, we were able to change that years ago and change those rulings, and now all this stuff is opening up. So that's great.
Yeah, and we just celebrated our 25th anniversary of St. Andrew's Court, which was the first building only for people who have been impacted by incarceration. So we have more than 650 individuals who have demonstrated that they can be great tenants, they can be great neighbors, and showing HUD and others that we need to do more of this, not less of it.
So tell me, so St. Andrews is where?
St. Andrews is 50 North Horn. It's right next to the church.
Horn and Washington?
Horn and Washington.
It's a beautiful building, brand newly built, right, when it was built. And that's for men and women?
That's just for men. They're for
just
men.
For men.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's just for the men. So we were so happy when we was able to get Harvest Commons. So we was able to we wanted to do just women at Harvest Commons, but CHA wouldn't allow it, so we had to put men. But I'm also alumni from Harvest Commons. I was one of the first people to move in when they remodeled it. You know, I used to be the Viceroy Hotel.
Right.
I moved in there in May of 2013. So I was one of the first people to move in there. I stayed there 3 years and was able to receive my CHA voucher and move on.
So were you in the culinary arts program when it was on the first floor?
No, I didn't do the culinary. I did the high school. I did the road to success, you know, but I also did cook. I played, and one thing about St. Leonard's, I played many a role. So it started as sitting at the desk, clerk desk. I did cook here, you know what I'm saying? They encouraged me to go back to school. It was always a support team. It was, whatever I needed to do, whatever I wanted to do, they was there. Because when I first got back to Grace House, I did not even know that Grace House and St. Leonard's was connected. I grew up in this neighborhood, and I heard St. Leonard's was this wonderful place men went to, and I heard about Grace House was a wonderful place for women. But then when I found out that this was the umbrella, I'm like, oh my God. So this is St. Leonard's too, you know. So it was just love in both places.
So it's three areas of housing. It's Grace House, St. Leonard's, and
St. Andrew, and Harvest Common.
And Harvest Common.
Yes.
Oh, it's 4.
4. Yep.
Okay, fantastic. That's great. So and how many units of housing? How many people?
Between those 4, we have about 115 individuals can live in those 2 different levels. So that
and you know the unique thing is, some folks may not have known that St. Andrews was housing for returning residents. I've never had one complaint. Never had one complaint about Grace House, never had one complaint about here, just never had one complaint. Never had one complaint about Grace House people over at Harvest Commons. Now, you know, every once in a while, there's a whole bunch of other folks over there, but but never had one complaint about your residents, and they're doing good. So this is great that you guys help people get housing, help people get education, help people get their feet back on the ground. You help them because a lot of folks, from what I understand, and Dave, we'll get to you in a minute, but a lot of folks, you know, so like volunteering at the prison, some women would come up to you and say, look, I need a place to stay. My time is up, but I can't leave. I can't leave the institution until I get a place to stay. So if they've been locked up for 20 years, right, if they don't have a place to stay, they won't allow them to leave.
Right.
So they say, so you all are one of the organizations that help them to have an opportunity to be able to come home after their time is up. Even after their time is up, they won't allow them to leave until they get a place to go.
And can I point out that St. Leonard's is great about hiring alumni. 40% of our staff is alumni. And that's one thing that our residents need. We all come to agreement with that, with someone that can relate. Been there, done that, you know. No judgment from anyone here, but when you have someone that has walked in them shoes and those clients come, we can feel better telling them, you know, the road that we took, and not just telling them something. They know, okay, well, if she did it, if David did it, I can do it too.
Yeah, so David, so man, you've been here 25 years.
Yeah,
man,
25 years, and I love it. You know, you mentioned after 20 years, but we're the only agency in the state of Illinois that the Department of Corrections trusts that if a C number, somebody that's been locked up for over 20, 50 years, will come here and they'll be successful. So as, you know, we always mention alumni, and it's important, you know, for me, because I came through the program back in 1996. I left for 2 years. I came back, and when St. Andrews Court first opened up, I moved in on my birthday and started working for St. Leonard. I had been at St. Leonard's, but I started working at that location. And one of the reasons why I like working here is that I can give back. So I was able to, I grew up not far from here. I grew up right down the street. I went to Marshall High School before I dropped out and started my journey on, you know, what took me to the incarceration. But just coming home and being able to come back to this community, work, never would have thought that I would be working here. When I was in my addiction, I walked past this place, never knew it was here. But being able to give back and to grow, this place has helped me become a stronger individual, because I call it looking in the mirror. When I say look in the mirror, I say everybody that I serve here, I've been through similar things that they have. I'm not judgmental. They can come to a place that they can call community and family, and we highlight that a lot. So I worked in many different capacities. I used to teach that work. So I worked on the workforce development side from 2006 up until now. I'm doing intake and housing. You mentioned the housing. So I work with people coming out of the Department of Corrections now to house them here, and then have other options for them if they can't come here. When people leave here from the men's and the women's program, I work on the front end, and then I work with them on the back end to help them so that they can have a place to go. And one of the reasons why I enjoy doing this work is because it helps keep me strong.
So David, thank you very much, man, for sharing all of that with us. That's very impressive, all the things you've been able to do since you've been here at St. Leonard's House. Very impressive about all of you guys, what you've been able to do. So why don't you tell me a little bit about, so I know when I first came,
Yeah.
you weren't the executive director
Right.
or CEO.
Right.
So tell me about yourself and how you come about coming to St. Leonard's House.
Yeah. So I've been working in human services for more years than I'd like to admit, 33 or so. And I was, like many of our participants here, kind of figuring out my what next. And I had a conversation with someone who said, well, there's an opportunity at this place called St. Leonard's. Have you ever heard of it? And honestly, I had not. And I looked it up and I started exploring and said, this is a good place to be. And I came here on a temp job, and within a week of being here, I just knew that this was a place to be. And so I've had the privilege of being here ever since, and I plan to be here for the long term.
So were you into social services before?
Yeah, 30 years of
30 years.
working, yep. And so, similar type programs, the importance of transitional housing, the importance of building community, and for me, the importance of having alumni around to help really build that kind of culture and community.
So you're from Chicago?
I'm from Wisconsin, so
Okay, we won't.
don't hold that against me, especially with the being a Packer fan. Please don't hold that against me.
Now you making it.
I know,
Now you messing us up.
I have a tendency to do that here a little bit too. I have used that here a little bit as well.
Yeah, that first game, man, they messed up, man. But anyway,
Yeah.
let me erase that
There
out
you go.
of my
Forget
mind.
that. One of the things when we're here at St. Leonard's, no judgment, no shame.
Right.
That should go to my being a Packer fan as well.
All right. So Ivory, you from Chicago?
I'm from the West Side.
West Side?
Yes.
What part of the West Side?
Lawndale.
Lawndale, okay. Then you from
West Side, Madison, and California.
Okay. Okay.
Fifth City, right down the street.
All right. So now you all are in a position to help people.
Yeah.
To steer their lives toward being successful. So yeah, that's fantastic. So I was at a graduation of yours just recently, and Commissioner Dennis Deere was one of your keynotes. Why don't you tell me about that graduation?
Yeah, well, we had a culinary graduation, and as you mentioned, you were gracious enough to be one of our keynote speakers. We do a lot of celebrating around here. We have our culinary graduation at the end of the 10 weeks, construction, and every month we have our road to success. It's just an empowering ceremony. Just you feel community in that room. It's all about celebrating the success of our participants who have showed up and been resilient, and focused. And like I say, you just feel the love in the room. Each graduate receives their certificate of completion. If you are in the culinary program, you receive your food service handler's license, an alumni induction letter, one St. Leonard's for life. You'll hear that term more often than not around here. We preach it, I think we say it in our sleep from time to time, but we breathe it because we mean it, There's always a place for you here at St. Leonard's Ministries. One other thing that we provide to our graduates is a reference letter. So they get a signed reference letter from Michael Barlow Center saying, we put our stamp on this person's ready to work, and St. Leonard's Ministries, we believe in them, And with that alumni spirit in mind, we wanted to give you a special gift, Alderman.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is your special alumni letter. And I'd like to read just a little bit because you have been such a huge supporter of St. Leonard's. You are like family to us. And it says, because of your work and dedication, timelessness, and commitment to St. Leonard's Ministries community, you have now joined the St. Leonard's Ministries family. Today, you are inducted into the Alumni Association of St. Leonard's Ministries, joining a family and community of people who are all striving toward the mission of change. Because of your support, the Michael Barlow Center is a resource and a base for extended help, knowing that our participants are not in this alone. It talks about our core values, which are everybody matters, love heals, hope motivates, respect empowers, and dedication rewards. And on behalf of the staff and administration of St. Leonard's Ministries, we welcome you to the Alumni Association.
Thank you. So now I can say St. Leonard's for life.
St. Leonard's for life.
St. Leonard's for life.
That's right.
That's great, wonderful. Thank you all very much. That's fantastic. So I really appreciate y'all coming on the show. So tell me, so St. Leonard's, where does money come from? How do y'all do this stuff? I mean, it just everybody work for free, or what's the deal?
People love that.
The prayers help and all of that, but yes, we do need resources. So we have built over our 70 years a strong base of support. Those funds come from different governmental sources, but also we rely a lot upon individuals and foundations who believe in what we're doing. I think one of the things that is so impactful about St. Leonard's is you heard about our great programs, and those are important. You heard about the sense of community and how that is so important, and dignity and respect. And all of that together, we yield success. And one of the measures of success is that the people that come to us after having served, it could be 3 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 40 years, they very much are trying to do something different. And their goal is not to return. And over our 7 decades, we have proven that to be successful in helping that. We just finished our most recent review of our recidivism rates, and the state average for women leaving Illinois Department of Corrections is 23%. We'll go back after 3 years. For Grace House, we had 0. In our men's program, very similarly, the state average is 34%, and we were at 14%. Yes. So we have demonstrated that we can make an impact, and that has a huge impact, certainly on the lives of the individuals that we have the privilege to serve, but also I think it shows that we are a good investment. So anybody who is interested in investing in the future of our community members, investing in the city of Chicago, and investing in having the justice system be different and more just, we're a great place to invest in.
So that's fantastic. So basically, so you get some money from government,
yeah,
but you get, I know the Episcopal Church gives to you guys.
Yeah, both the Episcopal Charities is a strong supporter of St. Leonard's, and then there is a whole community of Episcopal churches across the Chicagoland area that support us as well. So we're really blessed to have, with this long history, a great group of community members that help support us.
So I never known you all to have like big galas, big fundraisers, any of those things. Do you do those things?
Mark your calendars for 2024. I think I shared that we'll be celebrating our 70th anniversary, and yes, we will, as part of that celebration, we're going to be having our first ever fundraising gala.
How did that happen, man?
It just worked out that way, but we know that we need to continue to get the word out about the work that we're doing, the impact that we're having, and have a chance for our community members to come together to celebrate, because that's really important.
Being at the graduations, like the last graduation I was just at, it feels good to see the parents, the wives and husbands, grandparents. But then I'm gonna tell you what's more important to see the kids.
The children, yes.
Yeah.
The kids be so proud of their parents.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have our high school completion program at those graduations. The first one that I went to was right around the time that my son graduated, and at my son's graduation it was a lot of aunts and uncles and parents and grandparents there to celebrate, and a week later was our high school graduation, and at that it was a lot of grandchildren, children, nieces, nephews, and just the dignity and pride that came with that. And to a person, they all said, how can I tell my niece, my nephew, my son, my daughter to finish if I don't do it myself? And it's just, that's priceless.
Yeah, it's such
Absolutely.
inspiration. You're creating role models. Basically, I mean, everybody who sits and get those certificates is a role model.
Absolutely.
Quiet as it's kept, and so you're helping the rest of the community. So, you know, it's beneficial to the community if we invest in these people, because that helps the community to be safer, helps the community be more prosperous, but also helps to have more role models in our neighborhood. So when you see the guy who used to be out there, the lady who used to be out there doing what they do, whether it was, you know, whatever it was, when you see them taking a turn and going in the right direction and doing something positive, it inspires everyone else to know that they can change, for one, but also that you can do something different. So I think that's fantastic.
And the message we do at every graduation as well, it's yes, it's about completing this, but it's also about your what next. And Ivory, want to share a little bit about the what next of our participants?
Yeah, and I wanted to just talk a little bit, because it just reminded me of the graduation last month, where there was a young man who, like I said, everyone has challenges and barriers, and part of his barrier was not having childcare. And he came in and he thought it was, he's like, I've been trying to do something and I want to show my son something different. And he walked up to receive his diploma from his completion certificate from RTS with his child. He came here 3 days, those last 3 days, with his child in a stroller. But he was determined to finish. And he knew that this was a place where when we say we got you, we got you. So it was, I think, one of the culinary students holding the baby while he was up at the pub. But you know, but that's when we say community, that's what's special about saying, it don't matter where you've been, what you've done, this is the one place where it's all about you getting to that what next. And that looks different for everyone. You know, it may be, this is the first thing I've completed in my life, and I'm okay with that. I need to get this high school completion certificate for my daughter, for my son, for myself, you know. Or it may be, I need this skill to transition to a job, because maybe I've never worked before, or maybe I want to enhance that skill set. Michael Barlow and St. Leonard's Ministries is here for that what next, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Praise God. Praise
I want to piggyback when you said the family, because I remember when I graduated from here and how my family came. They came from Indiana. The support, sitting out there looking at my daughter, my grandkids, my mom, my sister, my brother-in-law, my significant other. It was just so much love and happiness. I just remember when I got my award, I was so happy, my diploma, I just pointed to my mom, you know, and then looking at my grandbabies, you know, and that was one of the encouragements for me to go back to school. And I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna go to college, you know, I'm gonna keep going, you know. Yeah, so it was a wonderful feeling to see, you know, that I had, 'cause you couldn't told me. I had got that, I had been at Grace House probably like 2 years. You couldn't have told me 2 years before that I would be standing up there in front of my family receiving my high school diploma. You couldn't have told me, yeah.
So it's great too that people don't give up on people, right? Because, you know, I always say that everybody get there in their own time. We all got different times. Some of us go faster than others. Some are more faster. Some got an even pace. Some people are slower paces, you know what I'm saying? But you get there. You get a high school diploma. You get a degree. You get an apartment. You know, you keep yourself clean, right? You get your family back. You know, it's just a wonderful thing. So thank God that you all contribute to all of these people's lives. So what if somebody, you know, who may not know about the gala that's coming up, or if they want to just donate to St. Leonard's House, or get more information if they want to volunteer, what could they do?
Well, the easiest thing is to jump on our website, www.slministries.org, and check us out. We have more of our programs are explained, opportunities to contribute, and when we get to the gala, there'll be a lot of information coming out. Opportunities to get on our e-newsletter so you can regularly keep up with what we're doing. And I think most importantly, we also share the Faces of St. Leonard's, and those are individual stories about some of the community members, some of the people that we have the privilege to serve, some of the people that serve them. We often highlight our alumni, and then different community groups that are part of it. So I think it's a really good way to become part of the St. Leonard's community and look for different opportunities to contribute.
So they can contribute, they can volunteer. Because I would imagine, you know, and I know you all don't really like holler out loud that you're here in the neighborhood, right? I would imagine there's a lot of people in the neighborhood who don't know you're here. And I would imagine there's probably a lot of people in the neighborhood who would actually like to volunteer, right? Or like to donate, you know, because I know you guys, I mean, you clothe these guys and women, so you take donation for clothes and you take a lot of different type of donations to help people, right? And I know a lot of people probably got stuff that they, you know, like myself, you know, clothes don't fit no more, right? You know, that they can donate and do different things to help out, to help somebody else have an opportunity to get dressed and look nice and be decent. Yeah. So that's good that people, so again, so you're located, your main location is right here on Hoyne and Warren.
Correct, yeah.
And what's that address?
It's 2100 West Warren is the original St. Leonard's house, and then we have about 3/4 of the that block right around that corner. So we have 6 buildings there.
And then Grace House, if folks just want to, like women want to donate clothes to women, where would Grace House? What's the address of Grace House?
So it's 1801 West Adams, or they can bring it to the Michael Barlow Center at 2120 West Warren. Yeah, so we can be that central hub, and then we'll make sure.
There's a lot of ways to help.
Absolutely.
And you know, I know another thing that you all do, Dave. You know, you've been having guys, and a lot of people may not know this, and you probably need to put folks on some vests that say St. Leonard's House, right? But you have guys going in the neighborhood, mowing people's lawns. I know they take care of the park up here on, although there's a brother over there who got a whole bunch of furniture in there now, but the park up here on Hoyne and Madison, you know, it's like we need to get him in St. Leonard's House, man.
Right. All are welcome.
He probably, you don't have room for all that furniture he got, because he got a lot of furniture, man. But anyway.
So
Go ahead.
That's correct. So a lot of things that we do in the neighborhood sometimes may go unnoticed, but you know, in addition to our beautiful campus, we do work with people in the neighborhood to try to help out. One story is a gentleman that lived next door here. You know, what we did for this gentleman, he was an elderly man. What we do in the wintertime is clean his cars off for him, help him in and out of his, you know, his residence, you know, because that's the neighborly thing to do. And we also help keep the neighborhood clean by, you know, cleaning up paper and garbage and what have you. So yeah, we do those things too.
Yeah, and I know your guys will call us periodically during the wintertime when it's snowing, say, do anybody need their snow shovel, and all of those things. So I think that's a wonderful thing. And a lot of people may not even know that they're from St. Leonard's House.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. So we really appreciate all of those things that you do in the neighborhood. But it's good for folks to know how to volunteer, right? That's a good lesson for the people that live here, that volunteer. You know, I always say, you know, the secret to my success is volunteering, right? Because it opens up so many more doors and build relationships in the community and everything else. So that's fantastic. So you got a fundraiser coming up. People can volunteer through that program, and your folks volunteer with people also.
Absolutely. And if there's people that are looking for skilled, talented, motivated employees, every month we have graduating classes. And so if you are an employer and looking for some great talent and people that will quite honestly be more committed and passionate because it means so much to them, we have a great team of folks here that are ready to help and make those connections.
If people wanted to hire people, do you all have so they can just call or go on your website?
They can call and go on our website. Sunday Davis is our director of workforce Solutions. So she's the director over the workforce programs, but they can call Michael Barlow Center. They can put an inquiry through our website. And I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to touch on that a bit. We are, in need of like partners and for employers who are looking for skilled chefs and construction hires. We have a great construction skills program, but also through our Road to Success job training program. There's some folks who go through the 2-week program and are looking for an administrative role or maybe looking to work in different areas of hospitality. We have, we call it, our folks are ready to work, so yeah.
That's great. Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I appreciate all of you all coming on to the show. Thank you all for everything that you do here in the city of Chicago, not just because all of your folks don't just live on the west side, they leave here and they go all over the city. So I want to thank you all for your contribution, helping this city to be a better place and a safer place and helping families to come back together. So I just want to say God bless you all. Appreciate everything that you do. Is there anything else before we get off that you all would like to say to?
I think it's just important to say One St. Leonard Ministries for life, and thank you for being part of it. And that's about, we want to be there to support our community members for the long term. We have been here in the city of Chicago for 70 years, and we're going to be serving, very focused on serving this population for the next 70 years or more. So thank you.
Yep, thank you, Alderman.
Thank you. Yes.
Being there for the agency for all these years, and I've been there since you've been there.
That's right. Well, it's a good thing. And like I say, I appreciate what y'all do with taking care of that park over there, cleaning it up, because the park district that's not an official park district park. So I appreciate y'all keeping it clean over there. But also when you want to help people with the snow and cleaning up and all of those things, I appreciate that. But also, most of all, man, I appreciate the fact that I never have a problem with your residents. Never have a complaint. People don't even know you're here. I think it's just a wonderful thing that you all been here for, 70 years, right? And even as the neighborhood has turned around, you probably saw the neighborhood probably changed 3 times since you all been here, but you all are still here. St. Leonard's has been stable, and you've been continuing trying to help people to get their lives together. And again, I thank you for having the AA meetings and NA meetings here for everybody in the community. Thank you for having a school here for everybody in the community, that other people in the community, if they've had, any type of challenges in their lives, they can come here and get a high school diploma, no matter how old you are, right?
That's right.
Yeah. What's one of the oldest people that have graduated got a high school diploma?
Well, it was very fun. We just had in our most recent, in the fall graduating class, last year's fall graduating class, we had a couple, and they were both in their late 60s, and they were they would have this great little back and forth about, you got to do your homework, you got to do your homework, and at graduation time they were beaming, and as importantly, their families were as well. So yeah, late 60s is the oldest that I know.
But and then it ranges, and so what's beautiful also is that we may be at different places in our life, whether that's a 19-year-old, and then you have someone who that's 60 or 70-year-old student, but everyone's working together to see how people pull together, when it's midterm time, and you hear it in the hallways, it's just
Constitution.
absolutely.
That's great. Well, guys, we're running out of time, but again, thank you all very much. The 2 things that you do, housing people, helping people to find jobs, and also giving people education, and they even say this in third world countries, educated people are stable people, and the more we can help our folks, most of the folks who have been incarcerated, a lot of times it's because they had low self-esteem and weren't literate, and they ended up trying to do other things to try to, fill that gap. And so when they get that power to read, power to, you know, articulate, power to communicate. It just make them grow, and they just continue to grow. So thank you for helping the people to grow. God bless you all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Network 27. If you have family members who may have had a little fight with the law and they need an opportunity to turn their lives around, send them over to St. Leonard's house. Thank you and God bless. Have a good day.